The Mountain Dew do the Dew moments here as we have these fights going down to start things, and here you can see Team Secret trying to push in against TSM Entity, and they did. It was Pyrrhic damage that actually happened here, Avenger, but even though these first 2 days they're only for seeding going into the actual 3 weeks themselves of play, it's very important to win out these battles so you can take the drop spot that you want.
Yeah, and I gotta say though, Team Secret here, being able to push and pushing as four, pushing as a unit is so important in these fights where you want to take control of a compound, where you want to take control of this. So I really like to see that they're able to get the. Yes, they did get 2 guys knocked, but they ended up winning that fight because of that. Ross?
I mean, also some of the teams you don't play against as much in your normal leagues. We had the South Asian League, but also the South Asian one, which split up a lot of the teams. Now, this weekend is where you get the chance to actually feel on the other team, see how they're actually playing the game, how they like to rotate, where do they like to drop, and all of that together will give you a lot of information.
And these nades by TSM Entity actually were very important and very impactful on the game, Avenger, because they traded 2 for 2. TSM Entity only had 2 in that moment, but they actually killed off 2 of Biggitron. So that could have been a change in the... Biggitron could have won if they had it.
Exactly. You could have said that if that didn't happen, Biggitron might have been able to be in a position where they were able to win this fight in the end here, where we see Ryzen actually do a valiant effort. I gotta say, I think he also did a lot of damage as well from this, getting 5 kills himself. It was close, but I gotta say, an effort like this, you have
do the do moments. Everybody, this was an interesting breach by RRQ.
This is important as well, because they're fighting for Painang here, a top 3 spot on Sanok.
Hard push.
And they're making sure that this is there. So they basically won this fight and won probably Painang for the rest of the games and for the rest of the tournament. So super important here for RRQ Athena.
Yeah, you've got to be careful about how long you would contest a point for us in... I mean, it's a long format eventually, but that format across this month is broken down into smaller individual weeks. So if you do start competing for a drop spot throughout that first week, for example, you could just lose that whole week's worth of points.
Well, yeah, of course, but at the same time, also if you're going to contest someone on a map, you want to make sure that you're doing really good on the other maps and making sure that you're securing the points on those games. And when you're going for the one where you're actually contesting, it doesn't matter if you get 3 guys killed on your team, as long as you wipe out the other team and take control over the drop pod.
You can see Orange Rock here taking nice positions with some of the terrain that they have available to them, Avenger.
It broke out straight away from the drop. You saw a lot of the players didn't even have helmets, armors, backpacks. They were basically using whatever they just grabbed in the first house and then went for the fight straight away.
Yeah, very cool. And actually, T1, even implementing the S12K, I do like this shotgun from time to time in these close range fights.
You were able to very close to take this home. Getting those 2 knocks with 3 shots, absolutely amazing. 2 more shots there. If he closed that one out for that, that would have been probably the top play for today for me.
If he'd have had a few extra seconds to reload, it could have been all the difference, I feel, for us.
But Martin saves the day there in the end.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
No problem. No, good job, Martin. We have... But again, as the game develops, you can see over towards there that this little altercation was just kind of east of Georgia Pole. This was a decent spot for them to be able to rotate, considering the circles that came up. But the circles created a really difficult time for a lot of these teams here for us.
Definitely. A lot of the teams were betting on the circle to actually go towards South Georgia, the south side of the river itself. But when it actually shifted up towards the north, that's when panic started to break out and nobody actually knew what to do.
Yeah, and then it became an urban ending, and then you're all scarpered, really, trying to find yourself a decent spot. And going towards, I think it was the 7th circle, Martin, I think we had, what, 29 people alive or something?
It was insane amount, honestly. It's so rare you see that many live, and I was asking for an urban ending in Just Naya. I'm as happy to get it in North Georgia Bowl, honestly, because this was insane. Although, unfortunate for everybody that was sticking to the city, as Imperius said, because it so often ends up just going a little bit outside the circle, and maybe ending on the tips of the edges of the circle. So, but nice to see how they're able to play, because Cells, for example, they're able to go through all the way to the city, getting 11 kills for that whole game, just fragging out.
I'm actually going to stick with you for a moment, Avenger, whilst we look at these final moments in this fight, because you were saying to me, in some of these circles, maybe like 5 or 6, being north of the road is likely going to be very important for your a successful campaign here.
Yeah, because you have to consider the road is such an open, flat space that if you have to cross it late game,